So I had this strange electrical problem on the bottom half of an outlet. It's a switched outlet and it should show 120 volts here when the power is switched on from the switch. Now I switched the power on from the switch, switched it off, no difference, nothing, no fluctuation in the power, no nothing. That outlet there, power goes to that outlet on the right hand side first and then to the outlet on the left hand side on the top outlet. And then it's fed from the top outlet wire back to the switch, and then a red wire passes behind that outlet and goes to the bottom half of the switch for the switched hot for this outlet. And then of course goes back on the neutral path just like any other outlet. But this one I was getting no power to the outlet itself. Ironically, I had power from hot to ground, but no power from hot to neutral. Very strange one. Threw me for a loop for a while. Now these things are fairly simple, but here's the story. Mostly real time. Red wire back here. Okay, so the hot wire comes in, then the second hot wire comes out, goes back to the switch. Switch is turned on and power comes to the red wire. This one, I found a loose wire here. So, power replace the this has is a breakaway tab in between the center on the hot side. This one I can see the red wire netted together. It also has a breakaway tab on the neutral side, but for my setup that's usually left together. All the neutrals meet together and go back to the breaker box, meeting up at the neutral bus bar. So in theory should work. So, breakaway tab here. Hot side. So other outlets you'll leave the breakaway intact. This is just for the switched outlet. Again, the top half of the outlet feeds power back to the switch, bottom part of the switch, and then the top is fed back on the red wire, comes back to the bottom half of the outlet, and that's how power is given to the switched outlet. Yeah. What's going on? So a couple ways to do this. You could take those, there's that one, two hot wires there, the two black wires, and you could make a pigtail. On mine it's usually one is side wired and one is hot wired on that same top wire for the hot. In that way, power is given to the outlet and also fed to the other wire. But the other way to do it, you could take those two wires together and pigtail them, add a little piece of wire, and then connect that to the top half of the outlet. It would be the same thing. Just two ways to get it done. Okay. In theory, that'll be there. This will be here. So this way, and really we should hook up the hot last, but I'm adding the quick wire and then the side wire. I did it first. For that. The power is turned off, so it doesn't matter too much about hooking up hot last, but you know. And the neutrals are connected across here, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. But just so you're aware, the better progression is to hook up your ground wires first, then your neutrals, and then your hots. And ground wire there. And when you're hooking up the ground or side wiring, you want to wrap the wire the same way that you'll be turning the screw in. That way it turns it in with it. nice and tight. Okay. In theory, that'll work. So I'm gonna turn the power back on. So I turn the power back on real quick. Okay. Check the top one. We should have constant power. 120. Bottom one should not have power. It's on the switch. So when we turn the switch on, should have power. And we do not. So the question is why? Why do we not have power? So we're going to pull this switch apart and take a look behind there. Could be that switch. We should see a red wire connected to the top of the switch. And if not, then we'll know, at least we'll know something. Electrical problems are fun. As long as you don't get bit. All fun and games till someone gets hurt. There's red wire on the top. So I'll have to check for voltage here. Maybe we've got a bad something or other. Let's see. There's the ground. So what we should have is 120. From the ground, right there, to the box. Oh, look at that, 120 into the switch, 120. So the switch is working. So we've lost power somewhere in between here. It's most likely at this red wire nut back here, because we definitely do not have, we verified we got the red power going. And the question is, why do we not? Uh-oh, look at it. I got it. We got 120. Here we go. So why is it not registering on the neutral? Look at that. We've got it from hot to ground. $120 there. 120 there. 120 there. It's real truck touchy. Maybe that's all it is. No? Very strange. What the heck? Okay. Definitely 120 there. But not to the neutral. Not to this neutral. We lost a neutral somewhere. But then how come we got 120 there and not there? How does that make sense? Let's check from here. Got 120 there. How come not here? and we get it to ground 120. Not from this hot to this ground.
I mean neutral.
Both of these grounds are interconnected.
Neutrals.
So how does that make sense?
Both of those neutrals are interconnected.
This hot is going back to the switch, coming back to here on the same deal.
That's the fun
Very
part.
bizarre.
That's the fun part about electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here's another weird one. From the neutral to ground, I have 120.
I would think that would blow the breaker, but nope, it hasn't tripped.
Very strange. Alright, I'm going to pull this next outlet. Take a peek in there. Okay, I found it. Look at, someone wired the hots and the neutrals wrong. So both neutrals should be on the left side, both hots should be on the right side, and they've got the neutrals on the bottom and the hots on the top. So there's our problem. Alright. Okay, so power's off, and these have a quick release button. So all I need to do is release the neutrals, or one neutral, just this one, and one hot. What I like to do is get a finger under there, pull that out, and a lot of people don't like quick plugs. I have no problem with quick plugs, but I would say that once you've used that release button, you may not want to use the quick plug again. They get weakened. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll side wire the ones that I pulled out. So as soon as I get that out of there, there we go. And what we'll do is side wire them instead. And we've got no issue. And you want your turn of the wire to go with the screw. So for the hot one, I'm going to go this way. That way as the screw tightens against it, it brings it in. And for the neutral wire, I'll go this way.
We actually want to go the other way for the neutral.
That little curve.
You'll see in a minute.
And that way. Now the outlet doesn't care whether it's side wired or back wired, as long as it's a good connection. So it makes the connection across these deals here. And basically you've got line and load, so one set of wires is your line.
Usually the bottom,
and then the other side
that is
load to the next outlet, and it feeds over to the next outlet.
usually the top wires. Bottom's usually line, top is usually load.
And I actually wrapped this one the wrong way. All that talk about wrapping it with the wire. I got it backwards. There we go. But rotate it, turn it, grab it. And outlets have a slotted screw port as well as the Phillips, so that you can get a little bit more torque. You get a little more torque with a bigger flathead. There we go. That's that. And now we'll check and verify. It all makes sense now. Now, surprisingly, it didn't blow the breaker, and didn't short out any stuff. Or it's kind of weird that it didn't, because it would have had power to hot and neutral as it was fed across. So strange that it didn't blow the breaker. I guess I could check this before I get too far, but I'm pretty confident that that's going to fix our problem. All right, let's turn the breaker back on. And that will be problem number one. I got another electrical problem. Okay, we verify we got 120 here. Uh-oh. Boy, these outlets are being... Wow. Okay, what's going on now? Oops. Oh gosh, look at that. Let's test my meter on ohms. Okay, that's working. Test it on voltage. I got nothing. Wow. It's getting weirder by the moment. No power. No power. Wow. How come? Very strange. Very, very strange. Can breaker not reset? Yep. I read power there. 120. How come no power up top? Bizarre. Very bizarre. Nothing here now. But if I turn the switch on, I get power to the bottom and not the top. This is really weird. Why? Okay. 120. 120. That's good. Neutral. 120. Neutral 120. Good. One 20. 120. Good. Okay. That's fine. So I think I'm gonna sidewire all those.
So I turned the power back off.
This one's gonna go ahead and sidewire both of those. That was just odd. Yeah, it's keeping it interesting. My thought is maybe that wire seemed a little loose on the quick wire. There we go. Yeah, got ice. Okay. Okay.
Sorry about the shakiness of the film here.
We should be good here. 120. This is not my favorite meter. 120, there it is. Good. And I probably should verify that the switch does not affect this. So I got 120. turn the switch off. Still got 120. Good. Okay, switch is on. Yeah, I should have 120. 120, yep. And the top one, 120. Good. Now, got our 120 and the switch should control. Nice. Okay, and then on the top, our switch should not control it. And then problem number 1 will be solved. Okay, switch, and it stays on. Good. Problem number 1 is solved. On to problem number 2.